Hi, this is Jason Fierstein. Welcome back. I'm the counselor for men, and today we're talking about dealing with work stress. Now, I know a lot of you guys deal with too much work stress. You're working really long hours, or there's some stress at home that then leads over to stress on the job, and you're tired and you're just generally grumpy. So today's video, we're going to talk about a couple of tips to be able to help you deal a little bit more effectively with that work stress. So from small things that you can do to thinking about the big picture. We'll talk about that today. So thinking small and thinking about how can I help myself feel less stressed and more in control of my job, I want you to think about the small things that you can do to tweak your experience at work, whether that is getting more organized, coming up with better to-do lists, writing down the things that you need to do, and putting them in a jar or in a drawer. I think the other thing, too, that helps is just sitting with your breath for 5 minutes. So practicing something by closing your eyes and just sitting with your breath. And just doing that for 4 or 5 minutes even on your break or on your lunch will be really, really helpful in just bringing down your immediate stress and deactivating your mind. Now, we'll do another video on mindfulness meditation, but I think just training yourself, training your brain to slow down and to disconnect from the thought stream and all of the things that fuel your stress is going to be really helpful for you. So those are a couple of things. Two, I also want to encourage you to identify the sources of stress at your job. So whether that's, well, I'm not making enough money, or I'm having a conflict with another employee or a boss, or something like that. I want you just to come up with those 2 or 3 things that are really the major sources of your stress. Now that can even include, well, I'm not happy at my job at all, or I'm not happy in my career even, and I want to get out. So I think sometimes we just end up going through the emotions week after week, and then we rush through the week and we hit the weekend, and then Monday starts, and we really get lost in that cycle of unconsciousness. We forget why we're stressed in the first place. It may have to do with work, it may have to do with something else. But just to figure out, well, what's actually happening, and write those things down and prioritize those things. So maybe, again, it's having a conflict with someone at work, maybe it's not getting enough sleep, maybe that you had a fight with your partner, your wife or girlfriend that morning, and that's stressing you. But I think just zeroing in on what are those things that cause you the stress and making those conscious, that will be a big step towards reducing your stress. Now, I think some other stress preventative measures that you can take in terms of lifestyle are obviously getting exercise. Exercise is proven for a lot of things to be helpful, but for stress, it will help lower your stress levels. Eating the right foods, not drinking caffeine or smoking. I think those are major stress contributors. And getting the right sleep, getting those 7 to 9 hours or however many hours of sleep your body needs to be able to repair itself and to deal with that stress. So I think those are lifestyle things that can help you feel less stressed. So moving on from those smaller things to the bigger picture. Now, if you're frustrated about your job, if you're frustrated about your career and your situation, those are big picture things. You can also identify those things and write those down on your list, and maybe they're top priority, but maybe you're just sick of the work that you're doing, or you feel tied to it. Maybe you're making some excuses. Maybe there's a reality, an economic reality, that you need the money, that you need the stability and the benefits, but maybe there's a point in time where you can actually be honest with yourself and say, I want to make a change, and I think that now is the time that's right to make the change. So understanding, coming just to terms with the fact that, hey, maybe I'm not happy in my job here. Maybe I want to move on to something else. And to start to have that conversation with yourself may go a long way in terms of materializing those thoughts that have just stayed in you. Maybe just having a conversation, with your wife or girlfriend about, hey, I'm not happy at my job. And she says, well, of course, I knew that. You come home and you're upset every night. Well, maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you're not able to see your own behavior or what you're saying. So just coming to that realization, hey, maybe I need to make a change, and maybe I need to start to talk with people in the field that I want to get into, or setting an action plan about how will I start to achieve realistic steps en route towards getting my goal. Maybe those are things that can help you reduce the big picture stress. So maybe it's just that you're generally unhappy in those things. Also, stress may come in the form of things outside of your job. So maybe you've got marital problems or conflict. Maybe you're fighting with your partner or wife or girlfriend. Maybe you don't have other things to counterbalance work. A lot of guys just over-identify with their jobs and their careers. They spend so much time at work. Maybe they're workaholics. Maybe they just enjoy work a lot but don't have anything else to kind of counterbalance their lives, like hobbies or friendships, or even time with their spouse or their kids, or just time for themselves. Guys are notorious about not taking care of themselves. So just carving out the time to take care of yourself, however that means, whether that means reading or going for a bike ride or spending time with your dog or kids or your wife or girlfriend. Any of those things is helping to take care of yourself. I think talking with guys, I know that really the number one or number two problem with guys not being able to deal with their stress level is that they don't have the time, or they don't know how to take care of themselves when they do have the time. So, again, developing like a mirror list of things that you can be doing to help reduce your stress through hobbies, through other activities, through things that are totally unrelated to your work life, I think will go a long way in helping reduce your stress. So I hope that we've taken a small perspective and a large perspective on how to deal more effectively with stress. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment to this video on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. I'm happy to answer your comments. If you want to email me directly, I'd be happy to give you some more information about how to reduce your stress. So until next video, take care and talk soon.